Venomous Stare back with another Call of Duty commentary. This time we have a Spitfire game on Nuketown. The Spitfire is the premier submachine gun at the moment. After the dual SOG 9mm were hit with the Nerf bat pretty hard, the Spitfire and Cordite became the de facto most powerful weapon. I'm going to run left side here by Jeep and then try to flank the people aggressing on B. This is a solid route whenever you're playing with the pre-made team and you know at least 3 people are going to run straight to B, because you're either guaranteed to win an engagement with someone who's going to Jeep, or you're going to cut people down who are for sure going to be looking straight forward. Nuketown is the smallest map in the pool. Generally in Call of Duty, the small maps are loved by pretty much everyone. If Nuketown comes up, it's going to get voted for, not once but twice, pretty much every single time. The theater mode in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is actually terrible. Whenever I open a replay and begin the replay and then try to rewind it, the score is permanently messed up, the sound becomes desynced, and I'm going to pick up my first death here. Is one of the things that you do not want to do on Nuketown is after you peak the buses, so you'll be in between the buses frequently on Domination because that's sort of the middle point where you can safely spawn trap and never flip. Beautiful radiation here, by the way. You always want to radiate where your opponents can't see you visually because the radiation goes through buildings and it also goes up and down. But to finish my thoughts about the bus and the death, essentially on Nuketown a lot of what you're going to be doing is sitting in between the buses, picking a guy off, and changing spots. If you pick a guy off and then continue to run into their spawn, people are going to be looking for you, you're going to be exposed, and you're going to get cut down. A big part of Nuketown is being able to pick up kills and then change your cover positions. Was that a freaking enemy, by the way? I just now noticed that. Was there a guy like that? Okay, yeah. That was insane. I didn't notice that until now. Because of all the mana. Oh my gosh. What is that guy, AFK? See, like, theater mode is so bad, I don't know if that guy, like, went AFK. Look at that guy behind the desk. I just noticed that. I've seen this replay 3 times because theater mode is so bad. You know, one thing that I've sort of become very annoyed with in Call of Duty is we're in 2018, the game was released in 2018. I'm aware of the fact that it's 2019, but we're in 2019 with a new game that was released on PC, and the features that worked completely fine on Xbox 360 in 2010 with Black Ops 1 do not work in this game. And that's despicable. There's really no excuse for that. Whether it be the extreme framiness, the exceptionally long queue times, there's really no excuse for it. And it's very frustrating to know that, oh, well, theater mode worked completely fine back in 2010 on an Xbox, a console that has virtually no power compared to a PC. And here I make the same mistake I did to earn my first death. I got a kill in between the buses, and instead of varying my route or my traffic pattern, I continued to stay exposed on that one side. Excuse me. Hey Elise, relax. I'm recording a commentary here, monkey. And I cut down 2 people there with the help of my good buddy Yote Daddy. And Elise is my monkey face dog. She's been featured in a couple different commentaries. Here we see radiation being used to great effect again. 475 points being racked up. All of my kill streaks being earned. Firebreak is incredibly powerful on small maps, and the more cramped the map is, the better. And I lay a sentry down in a total troll spot there, and between both of my kill streaks I managed to pick up 2 kills and slide away to safety. The sentry, oh, here I see a hacker. The Zero is trying to hack my sentry and my drone squad, and of course whenever Zero uses her ult, a huge marker gets put on your screen, and you should want to go kill her because it's a channeled ult, and if you break the channel you can sort of mitigate the damage. Also, if you kill Zero while she's ulting and you've been ulted by Zero, you will be relieved of that. You won't be ulted anymore. But more importantly, we see that I saw the zero ult. Thank God it was Nuketown. I was able to rush to their spawn very quickly. And what do you know, I killed her, and really the only thing she got to steal was the drone squad. None of my teammates were affected, and my sentry wasn't affected. And here we can see another inadequacy. My homie Yote wants to play. He's featured in this game, an exceptionally aggressive player, and this is another example. See how I'm mousing over everyone and hit it, you know, just like I do in the normal game where it should show the scores. It's only showing mine, 30-2 with 11 objectives, and if I right click it brings up the toggle, and I really don't want to, honestly the system is so buggy and so bad that I don't want to click any more buttons. I don't want to try to monkey with it or left click around or be aggressive because I think it might screw up the commentary. We'll left click here. You hear that? You can't, but I'm left clicking very aggressively on Yote's name and nothing came up. So that's the sort of theater system we're dealing with. It can't even accurately display scores. And a lot of people want to do really creative things in the theater. They want to do map breakdowns, they want to do montages with creative angles or edits. Some people even like to do these cutesy little machinima things where essentially it's like, it's hard to explain. It's like a little play that they do using the theater. Or they do things like they'll make frag movies. Or really, the most common thing that you'll see is these cutesy little, basically like wide shots, like that you would see in like a skyline, or like in a sporting event. Just your standard wide shot of the event or the stadium. People would do wide shots of the map that they were about to show a montage clip on. And that might not seem like a big deal, but the point is this was equipment and technology that was valid and working completely fine in 2010 on an Xbox. And now you're going to tell me that on a computer in 2018 it doesn't work? Suddenly we're in a situation where the theater mode is so buggy where if I rewind it, the score that is displayed is going to be permanently bugged and I have to reboot the replay. And I pick up a death there from a sniper. Like I said, if you sort of picture the areas to the left and right of the buses, and yeah, I know they're not literally buses, but in the old Nuketown they were buses, so that's the call out for them. If you picture the areas to the left and the right of them, like right here, the area directly in front of the barbed wire and where I just ran, those are probably the most dangerous parts of this map, Nuketown. Because if you think about it, almost every power position is going to be able to see that area. One of the reasons Firebreak is so strong on cramped maps is because whenever you use his equipment, you can cover an exceptionally large amount of the map, and often because power positions in maps are on the second story, like we see here. I get cut down from a power position trying to take on a sniper with the submachine gun from a low ground. And since the Firebreak equipment, the reactor core, goes up and down, it means that you can stand below someone who's camping very effectively, maybe has a mesh mine or a sentry gun, fire up that reactor core, and you can rock them right out of their camping territory. And this is one thing that you sort of struggle with if you ever get into posting gameplays, is you'll probably have about 75% of a really killer match, and then you'll have a few hokey deaths in a row that sort of makes these little dry spells in the game or screws up your score. But it's Nuketown. You're going to have a lot of little hokey deaths. Excuse me, I had a hiccup there. And I'm going to let the Mantis run in there and lead for me. And frequently on Nuketown you will have these very high octane games where you're just sort of flipping back and forth and it's a huge clusterfuck and there's somehow always someone in the house no matter where the spawn is. Overall, this is a pretty strong game using a strong gun, the Spitfire. This is one of those guns where you can pretty much put anything on it and it'll be good. So if you'd enjoyed this commentary, make sure you sub for more.